only hits me because he loves me. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, that's abusive.
Yeah, domestic abuse is not cool. I know that. But there are both women and men in very toxic relationships, and I'm like, just leave. But they don't have that option to.
Yeah, well, and also people don't understand. This is something that they've started to touch on in some edgy dramas and things like that. That
Yeah.
you know, just leaving is a lot harder than most people think. People think most people will look from the outside and see, oh yeah, you're in an abusive relationship. Someone is fucking you up. Mm-hmm. Get out of there. But
it's easier said than done.
Yeah, and like most of the fucking up is actually not physical. It's beyond that.
Yeah, because it's like both emotional and verbal. Because there's obviously the physical abuse which can be seen by others. The verbal is not really seen by others. So they're like, oh, they just say that sort of thing. But there's also the emotional thing
and financial.
Yeah, that too. Because they could do it where it's impossible for them to leave because it may be like a one income home. Oops, it might be a one income home, and they're like, I can't leave because I can't afford to. Or the emotional one where they're like, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, that's one of the most fucked up dynamics I've ever heard of.
It is. I really dislike it, and I'm going to have to say this. Hi, I know you guys are there. Welcome to the Rubber Duck Syndicate.
We promise it won't stay this dark.
It will not. We try to be a little bit more lighthearted about stuff.
Yeah, we might have just discovered a flaw in our usual technique of starting the camera randomly while we're talking. We might have to, adjust that in the near future.
We're not. We're way too deep into it because we're on episode, and we can't.
This is our normal episode?
Yeah, we're on a real episode.
What a milestone!
I know, right?
And you're here for it.
Yes.
By the way, I feel like I should take a moment before we get into this and say, don't try to read this shirt. You will have a stroke. I'm not going to explain the shirt. Just try to pretend like it's not here.
Well, see, that's a problem about it because you brought attention to it. Now everyone's going to read it and try to decipher what it means.
It's like that video from Halloween 4 or whatever it was. There was this absolutely awful movie. It was one of the Halloween sequels where it was it had nothing to do with any of the other movies. There was some doomsday cult that had produced a video that
I think Halloween 3.
Yeah, 3. It was So if you watched the video, you would go insane and kill everyone.
Yeah, because I think everyone was part of the cult and they loved. Was it Michael Myers? They loved Michael Myers, and then everyone was dressing up as Michael Myers and killing people. So, they were killing other people that were Michael Myers, but they weren't. They were just random ass people out there killing people and getting killed. I'm like,
also 7 days.
Don't do that. That's so messed up.
Because I told you I did that to my friends. Like when that movie, when The Ring first came out, I saw it, and then my roommate and his girlfriend were going to go see it a little bit later.
Yeah.
And so I had this perfect opportunity. So I called my girlfriend's phone when I knew they were in the movie, would have their ringers turn off, and I just left a voicemail. 7 days. She just walked in the room and hit me when she came back, and I deserved it. But
yeah, that's well deserved. Ooh, we can talk about that. About how, I guess,
that was abuse, but it was the right kind of abuse.
Oh, don't stop doing that. So, I was going to talk about the fact of, say, Asian movies or, movies from other countries where they're so much better, but they get adapted to America, and then you're like, why did you do this?
Well, I've never seen the original, the Japanese
Ringu.
Yeah,
Yes.
But from what people have told me, that makes The Ring look like a children's movie.
Yes. Especially when you hear about, because there's so much lore and creepiness behind it about what the whole story's about. We hear about it because I think what The Ring is supposed to be, a girl died in the well, and I don't know. I hadn't watched it. That's one of the movies I didn't watch.
It was not particularly explicit on why things were the way they were. Just that some bad shit happened for reasons or not, and then there was a supernatural being that just wanted to fuck people up.
Gotcha. Yeah, because like I heard about Ringu, and they were saying like, yeah, it's far scarier than
Which,
what the ring
like,
is.
when I saw The Ring, like, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stay awake for the next month. Yeah, it got me. I am a very good target for certain kinds of horror movies, especially when that came out. I was at a very impressionable early 20s, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that got me.
Yeah, because that came out in like 2000, probably like 2000.
A little later than that, I think, maybe 2002 or three.
Okay. Enough where, like, we would have been in our very early 20s. Yes, we are dating ourselves at this point. It's okay.
I mean, no one else will date me. Hi-oh! Self-deprecating humor. Hey, ladies, you like it, don't you?
Yeah, dating mics are down because you can't, put them down anymore.
Yeah, I'm already broken down. You can build me back up into whatever you want.
Or just keep them there. Just keep them at basement level. Basement level Daniel.
I don't aspire to much. Just, love me.
Maybe they won't even do that. They're like, I'll keep you around. Like,
I mean, it'd be an improvement.
they're like, I'll keep you around. I'll look at it every once in a while and be like, yeah. They're like, yeah. Well, sadly, that's how some relationships are. Like, relationships
Didn't
are.
we just say we weren't going to stay this dark the whole episode?
Well, this is a lighter tone of it where it's like, not the physical abuse, but sometimes like where they just get to, like, they get in, not so, like, maybe like get in a rut where they're just kind of so used to each other that they're like, yeah, I see them every day. Okay. Should I be excited about your penis? Am I good excited about your vagina? Just kind of like that. But that's in long-term relationships, not you right now, because I'm pretty sure you see your vagina, you're like, yeah. Vajayjay! Vagine! Other terminology for it.
Can't believe he's gay, can you, folks?
Well, because I said vagine. What is a vagine?
Sorry, every time I hear that word, it makes me think of that one line in Borat. Where he's talking about his wife. Oh, her vagina hang like sleeve of wizard. And every now and then that line will just pop into my head and I will lose my shit in the most inappropriate of circumstances.
Yeah. Okay, but going back, because there were some other movies I was thinking about that were, made in Asia, but then like adapted to, I guess, U.S. culture, but it didn't work out.
There's a lot of movies and TV shows that are made and are great where they're made, and then we decide, ooh, we can do that too. Mm-hmm. Some of them are even weirder because like they're already made in English versions, like The Office.
Yeah.
Which apparently everybody loves The Office, but it was already a beloved English show before we completely remade it.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen bits of both. I haven't seen all of either one of them, but I mean, the British one was fine as it was.
Yeah, it was, and like the American version, which we're not going to shit on it because we know a lot of people that love The Office.
Yeah, and also it had some genuinely good stuff in it.
Yeah, but you kind of watch it, you're like, oh, this is like okay, they took a little bit of a turn on it and did something a little bit different. But there was a movie that you talked about that was made in South America.
Oh, The Secrets in Their Eyes, or Los Secretos en sus Ojos. Because they actually made an American version of it, which was like The Secrets in Their Eyes with Julia Roberts and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Best name ever, by the way.
Yes.
And it was, I never saw it, but apparently no one else did either. It was just one of those movies that completely missed. Mm-hmm. But the Argentine version is, if you can watch subtitled movies, it's one of the most incredible movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say because I don't want to start, dropping random, subtitle movie spoilers in our podcast.
Oh yeah, because
we ruin so much, but not this.
Yeah, we'll ruin a lot of stuff for you, but for a subtitle movie, we will not do that. We have our limitations. We know where our boundaries are.
Es muy bueno. I'm multilingual.
Yes. Like another show that actually did it. I like it. I think it does as well. It's called High Potential.
Oh, okay. That's the one with what's her name from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Correct.
Okay, was that based on another show?
Yeah, it's another show. I believe somewhere from, I want to say Denmark, probably. It's essentially the same concept. Of like it's a woman who, you know, and we talked about this like a little bit earlier today. Having a very high IQ, but I guess can't really deal with people, so she has like these different odd jobs. So she was working at a police station as a cleaner. Saw bored with all this stuff on there for like trying to solve a crime, and she's like, "Oh, I solved it."
Yeah, I think I saw one or two episodes of it. It was it was fun.
Yeah, but the other one is like in whatever language it was because I watched some of it. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can watch movies with subtitles on it, but like for this TV show, I'm like, there's so much going on with it. I was like, okay, I can't keep up. If you say I'm dumb about it, cool, whatever, you can say that. But
Now that particular trope, like the idea of the genius, logical, problem solving, intellect person who solves crimes, but has trouble dealing with people. That is a strange one to remake from another culture because we've already had Sherlock Holmes, and we've pretty much exhausted that genre in our own English speaking culture.
Yes,
We've had so many versions of Sherlock Holmes and derivatives thereof. We had Monk, we had Psych.
Yep.
The
Mentalist.
Yeah, the mental. Yeah, and these weren't necessarily people that couldn't deal with people, but they were people that were smarter than everyone around them, and were not cool with all of the rules and regulations of the police and things like that. So they were the rogue geniuses.
Yes, and from a lot of these shows I end up watching because I watch Psych is one of my favorite shows. I watched The Mentalist because I was curious about it because of Psych, which I think The Mentalist was after Psych.
Yeah, I think it started like a few years into Psych's run.
Yeah.
It was like Psych, but fewer jokes.
Yeah. And now I'm watching High Potential. All these have the same thing in common because they're all self-aware, they're all smart. But I'm going to say this, and it's going to be a little controversial, so brace yourself. Yes. They get away with so much because they are white people. Because, spoiler alert, in The Mentalist, he kills somebody. He actually kills two people and gets away with it.
I haven't seen that part of it. I've only seen like one or two episodes.
Yeah.
And famously, I think Sherlock Holmes kills at least one or two people.
Yeah.
In fact, one of them.
Moriarty?
No, Moriarty. Well, okay. So the original story of Sherlock Holmes was that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was like tired of writing Sherlock Holmes stories, so he had Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty, wrestling with each other on top of a waterfall, and they both fell off the waterfall. So he was killing them off. I was like, okay, no, we're done. They're dead. And then there was such a clamor, and publishers were like trying to get him to write more. I was like, oh, fine, okay, we'll write it back in. Sherlock Holmes was just kidding and didn't really die, and had to come up with all. Yeah, so bringing Sherlock Holmes back from the dead was one of those early publisher pushed rewrites. So he tried to finish the story, and they didn't let him. But I don't think Moriarty actually survived that. Okay. But there's one character which. I haven't read all the Sherlock Holmes stories, but in the Benedict Cumberbatch version of Sherlock, which is excellent, by the way.
Yes.
There's one where he's dealing with a blackmailer, and it's like you can just see like it's perfectly reasonable and logical. You can see how there's no other outcome that Sherlock Holmes could have come to. It's like, okay, so this guy is blackmailing everyone. He has all the information on everyone to destroy lives and thousands of people, and it's all in his head. Oh wait, there's a solution. Bang.
Yeah,
and that's morally that's a bit off.
Yeah,
but logically that was almost a dumb finish. It's like why didn't anybody else think of that?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you got all this information on everyone. It's all in your head. Yeah, we'll just kill you.
Yeah, I mean, it took the greatest genius of our time, Sherlock Holmes, to come up with killing the bad guy.
Yeah, but I think not everyone realized where he had the information stored. They were all thinking like, oh, he has it on a computer. He has like the files. They actually thought he had like physical evidence,
Yeah,
like
which
where he stored somewhere.
which
But
by the way, if you're a blackmailer and you have no physical evidence, you are a bullshitter. You are just lying to people. Like you might know some stuff, but there's no way you can prove any of the shit that you say.
yeah,
Then you're a bad blackmailer. You're just doing it. Well, they kind of painted this guy, the blackmailer in the show, as doing it for the thrill of it. He didn't actually care about what he could get out of these people.
Yeah,
he wanted to control people. That was
yeah,
like,
because he also I think he wanted to prove that he was like smarter than Sherlock too. I believe, or did he? I'm not sure. It's been a couple years since I watched it.
yeah, that series might deserve a rewatch.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that too because like we should do something where let me gather my thoughts real quick.
Are they on the table?
Yes, they are on the table. They are displayed right here in front of me, kind of like in my memory.
Your mind palace.
Yes. Aside from the fact that these people that are the smart ones in these crime dramas, they can get away with anything because they'll walk into like a secure bank or somewhere that's like a country club, like where they're not supposed to go, and they just walk past and no one actually stops them. They're just kind of like, stop, no, you can't go back there. Instead of actually like physically tackling these people, stopping them, they just kind of be like, oh no, you can't go back there, or they just sneak into places and they're like, I found the evidence. Now I'm gonna go back and do this. You're like,
Yeah, that's one of the tropes in a lot of crime series where, like, the main character, whether or not they're actually police, they will find reasons in the writing to justify like breaking in, like basically like doing like warrantless illegal searches and stuff like that. But like, okay, we know they're the bad guy, so it's okay that we're breaking the law ourselves to get this. And so, like, in the case of something like Dexter, where he's a serial killer who goes after other killers,
yes,
yeah, that's all. Well, like Dexter has its own like morally questionable area,
Yes.
which is its own topic for its own show. But
I'm gonna date my sister
yeah,
because I love her.
yeah, they've tried what like 3 times now to give Dexter a satisfying ending.
Yeah, they need to stop.
Yeah, but the show itself was so good.
Yeah, for a while until like there was. I forgot what season where like shit went off the rails and people didn't like it. Then it came back, but then they showed young Dexter, but then they showed current Dexter. I think that's what they kind of left
Yeah,
off.
I like the last one I saw was the first reboot. So it was 10 years after the original series ended, and it was basically a follow on to that series.
Yeah.
And that one ended, I think, as as neatly as the writing would allow. I think I don't actually think that was a bad ending. I think they got there eventually. It's just
Yeah.
it was an imperfect story to tell.
Yeah. Now, an idea I had that I just I thought about. Leave me alone. When I talk, I use my hands. An idea I thought about that would be kind of good. I'm not sure if it exists out there already. It might because any idea that you can think of might have
already been done.
Yeah, it's already been done. But we can put our own spin on it, where we can watch these cop dramas, and you and I kind of have a battle, or see who wins of knowing who the killer is before the show ends, or like when we get to the conclusion, be like, oh, it was definitely this person. So we could do it on a series that like we both never watched, because like when I was watching The Mentalist, I can kind of easily tell, be like, oh, yeah, this is the killer, and they keep going through it and through it.
They
and
telegraph it.
yeah, it kind of not completely telegraphed where I was like, oh, this is obviously the killer. Be like, okay, they're talking to this person a little bit too much, but they're talking to them too much for a throwaway thing for this. This person is a killer.
Yeah. You know what show is really good about that?
What's that?
Is a New Zealand police mystery show called The Brokenwood Mysteries.
Okay.
Which is it's in like season, like, I don't know. They've had multiple seasons of, like, I think 3 or 4. Or they're short seasons, but they're like hour long. But they are all incredibly well done, and they do a marvelous job of not telegraphing, who the killer or the victim or whatever, who the bad guy is, until the end. So they actually keep you guessing, and there's enough ambiguity in it, but it's still interesting. And also, one of the best things they do is it's set in this small, statistically unlikely town in New Zealand where there are consistently murders like weekly, and but they reuse characters. So when they introduce a character, that character like lives in that town, and they don't just skip that and then introduce a new character the next week. The same people live in the same town, and they're all dealing with the same murder stuff over and over again.
So yeah, when they go to a bar, like there's 2 bars. It's either this bartender or that bartender that they're talking to, because it's like, oh yeah, I saw him at the bar. Which one?
The bartender character. There are 2 bartender characters, but they're brother and sister, and they own multiple bars in the town, and they are also glorious trolls of the police, which is fantastic to watch.
I love that fact because like you should be a troll to police. You're like, why should I do your work?
Yeah, but anyway, this is a New Zealand detective show, so you can tell that it's not an American detective show because there aren't any gunfights.
Yes. Oh, I like the fact of that so much. Now, tell me this. Now, when the detectives, cops, or anything like that are talking to people, are they still working while they're talking? Because that.
Oh, you mean like in every episode of Law and Order?
Every episode of Law and Order, they'll go to someone like at their.
That's New York. We can't stop for anything in New York.
Like, oh, you want to talk about the murder? Like, yeah, I know Benny. He was the one who was working over here. He was doing this, and like, oh, do you remember where he was at? Oh, yeah, he was at the bar at like 7:30 to like 9:30. Yeah. Why does everyone always know all this information? Every time. And they never stop working. Like, if someone came to my house or came to my like job, if I'm working right now, talk to me about a murder, guess what? I'm stopping. I don't need to be working right now. I can wait like 5 minutes and talk to you about this murder instead of moving these crates. Well, I guess, they have to have some kind of action going on so people can be distracted by what's happening. But also the fact that they have all this information on this person. Like, if someone asked me, later on, like, if there were a murder and they thought you did it, they're like, oh, where was Daniel on Tuesday? I was like...
Well, I thought it was conspicuous that he left at 6:37 when he usually leaves at 6:15.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he was at my house exactly at, 12:38.
I was like, I know this because I happened to look at the clock, because my favorite show that I watch every week was on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know the exact time. So he was like, oh, what this and this, and like, oh yeah, I got the license plate number. Who the fuck knows this shit? No one does. I don't even know my own license plate number by heart. I have to look at it.
I have no idea what my license plate is.
Yeah, no one else does. If you know what your license plate number is, put it in the comments. Or don't do that.
I have committed to memory many important identifying numbers, but the license plate, now that I think of it, like, I'm not certain my license plate is valid. I might need to pay my taxes.
Oh,
I might be a little behind, so I gotta look on that today. Okay.
Yeah, people pay your taxes on your license plate.
I mean, I am absolutely not a delinquent on my tax. I pay my.
He is fully paid off.
Absolutely, I'm a good citizen. At this moment in
time, he is fully paid off. By the
time you see this won't even be in question.
Yeah, he is. He's all right at this point.
Yeah, we're rebels.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to talk about something else that we were talking about earlier.
The fact that you might have to give me rides places from now on.
No, because mine are out of tax. Yeah, I'm riding around dirty.
Breaking the law.
I'm riding dirty as some of the kids back in 20.
Is that what that meant?
Yeah. Well, it was also meaning like you're riding around with drugs.
I always heard the song. They're trying to catch me riding. I never really understood. What that meant. I guess I never really listened to the song.
Well, you weren't really listening to the lyrics. So, like, everyone's just listening to the hook, but, like, whatever they're saying in between that, it doesn't matter. But I think essentially writing dirty meant, like, you were transporting drugs or you had drugs on you, so you are writing dirty. Or they try to catch you writing dirty. But going back to something that we talked about earlier today, and the fact that I told them to put something in the comments on porn sites. Why do they exist? It there's no logical reason for comments to be on
No,
a
I
porn.
suppose theoretically it would work. I mean, depending on the nature of the porn site. Like if it's a site,
Or
like the idea, if it's like an adult version of YouTube or something like I guess OnlyFans, where the theory is that someone makes their own pornography and puts it
Yes.
online for consumption, whether for sale or for free.
Yeah.
And they want a way to interact with their customers/fans.
Yes.
The only way to really do that in any kind of marginally safe way would be with comments.
True, but is that necessary though? Like, you would think you would get enough interaction knowing that you have so many views so far. If you're a I was gonna say OF, but I can say OnlyFans because I think we get demonetized or whatever. We're not making any money on this right now.
Yeah,
So-
our OnlyFans hasn't launched yet.
Where we're only gonna have ducks.
And feet pics. You perverts.
Our feet on ducks. But
Poor ducks.
but like say like OnlyFans, you can tell that you have a growing audience by the number of people that are subscribing to your page. So you're like, oh, this one video that they posted got 1,200 views, and then like they check a week later, like, oh, now it's up to 1,500 views. Like, oh, okay, cool. This is something that my fans want. I'll produce more stuff like this, or they just kind of find out like what's going to work. I don't think they're asking their fans directly what they want, because then at that point people will ask for weird shit, because that's what the internet's for, dude.
But that's also probably what things like OnlyFans are for. I mean,
True.
It's basically it's eliminating the idea of like studio production infrastructure and bringing like audience and the pornographers closer together.
Well, I think they call them. I want to say they call themselves sex workers at that
So
point.
yeah, they are a type of sex worker. That's
Yeah.
true.
But yeah, I just can't. Like for myself, I can't see the logic of like comments, because at that point you already know why they're watching it. They're not watching it to be educated.
Someone was mean to you in your comment section, weren't they?
No, I don't have an OnlyFans. Mine's all interactive and live.
Those comments are even harsher.
Oh no, I got great stuff.
No, you're doing it wrong.
No one's ever told me that. My head game is amazing. I've been told that on many occasions.
Now, admittedly, this was by people whom you've been. Never mind.
Yeah.
They are probably more likely to be biased in your favor.
No, they can. They will be honest, because I'm pretty sure they'll be honest and about it. They're like, yeah, this is. Like no one's ever like. Well, I think there was like one or two people said that was like the best that they had, but it's not like a comment that's thrown out there all the time. They're like, no, this is really good. I was like, yes, thank you. But like say having comments and just having those people like say some, like maybe they'll say some weird shit or say something that's off-putting or something that maybe they'll start saying some shit that like is not cool. Maybe they just like they spam it to like promote their own OnlyFans or their own website or something on there. You're like, okay, why do we need the comments right here? Like it's just enough to have your stuff out there, and you're like, oh, I got another 200 views today. great, fantastic.
Okay, I think one of the takeaways from this is that neither one of us spends enough time on porn sites to really understand comment sections. So maybe we're not horrible people.
No, because I think if either one of us are on porn sites, we're not, taking a break to comment on it.
In other words, we don't go to porn sites for the commentary.
Yeah, that's like
So yes, we are horrible people.
No, we're
normal people.
We're normal people. The people that make the comments, those are the weirdos. Like because they, either you have
you look like my sister.
Leave right now. Feel shame, sir.
I don't even have a sister.
See, that's... See, people will
Don't you judge me.
Well, I will. I'm always judging you, sir.
Okay.
But the fact that, people will make comments like that. They're like, oh, you look like my sister. Or like, oh, I've seen bigger dicks. You're like, dude, he's already packing 9 inches. Yeah, you may have seen someone who has, a bigger one, but why put someone down at this point? Or be like, oh, your boobs are weird. Or like, you watch this. But the people making comments are either stopping what they're doing and then typing out
mid-process.
Or they're finishing.
The quality of the acting took me out of the moment. It was breaking the immersion. I feel cheated.
How much was that pizza?
Did he fix her cable?
Are the pipes clean? Is he certified?
Is the dog okay?
Is that sock still stuck in the dryer? We want to know.
The stuck in the dryer theme, I was like, that is just one of the more fascinating ones. Like, of all the ideas, okay, someone that I, or at the very least, should get consent from, if not, should not be involved with at all for other reasons. Oh, they're stuck in the dryer. I'll help with my penis. Someone wrote this, and then someone, says, all right, yeah, I like this. Everyone likes this. Let's make this 10,000 more times.
I want to see the reverse of that.
What, somebody fucking a dryer? What the hell is the reverse of that?
Oh, God, no.
Someone desperately trying to get into a dryer while being screwed?
No.
I'm still waiting.
I want to see the reverse of that because typically, anytime those are set up, it's like the woman being stuck in the dryer and stepbro helping.
Oh, you want to see stepbro stuck in the dryer?
Yeah, stepbro stuck in the dryer. He's like, I'm stuck in the dryer in the position where I'm like this. And then sister's like, I'm going to help. The stepsister's like, I'm going to help you out by riding you.
I mean,
there you go.
I would say that might be innovative, but I guarantee you someone has done that.
You're welcome, Pornhub. Pick that idea.
We are possibly affecting the comments that we're going to get now.
Possibly.
We are saying, okay, if you're a porn bot, come our way.
Hey, we'll get more likes and views and things like that. Possibly. I don't know.
That's how the internet works, right?
Yeah, just...
More porn equals better?
It could be. Because, what was that? Avenue Q that had the internet?
The internet is for porn, yes.
Yes. I remember the very early days of early internet, and that went around. You actually had to download it and then watch it instead of... Yeah.
I used to enjoy trading mix CDs with people. It was how I got introduced to new music, and I loved putting music together for my friends. Mm-hmm. One of my friends made me a mix CD. The very first track was basically taking a shot right at me. What do you do with a BA in English? Because, yeah, folks, that was me, and it felt personal.
It was. It is still you. You still have your BA in English.
And I still don't know what to do with it.
Well, what have you done with it so far? Because I think we probably brushed upon that, kind of, but not in depth.
What have I done with it? I mean, I know how to read. probably the bulk of it right there. I have. I don't know what most of the jobs that I have had nothing to do with any of my schooling.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not alone in that.
Yeah, there are plenty of people out there who, went to school, went crazy in debt for it, which they're still in debt for it, and landed a job that has nothing to do with their degree. And they're like, why the hell did I go to school for this? And now I'm in this, this field of work.
Yeah. And of course, I was, one of the tail end of, the generation that could go to school for a humanities degree, unironically. And, now, because of idiots in power, we only care about STEM degrees. And so now there's no one teaching poetry and literature and anything like that.
Yeah, the arts are a lost thing in schools because now it's like, instead of being something that should be taught, and now it's an elective. So like, oh, you have to pick an elective. What kind of art do you want to do? Or this, this thing. You're like, why couldn't this be a primary thing? Like, yeah, have a class that is strictly just painting art or sculptures or digital art or anything like that of the sort. Or actually bring back not labor like blue collar like auto shop,
Trade class.
Yeah, trade classes. Because my school that I went to like used to have an auto shop, but they got rid of it like a decade before I got there. But that was a thing where you could actually learn how to work on the cars, and you were like, oh, if I didn't want to go to college, hey, I know how to work on cars. I can do that. Or, AFAC or welding or anything like that. Trade schools are awesome, people. Do that.
We had at my school actually a very good auto shop program. I know there were, it wasn't a big program, but like there were kids that did it, and it was at least a 2-year program. Just in the shop, I guess, automotive technology program. And one of my friends, who ended up being my roommate for a year when I was at college, his senior project, we had to do the senior exit project, which was bullshit requirements, but it was a big thing. He built from scratch, not from scratch, from parts that he had like gotten from salvage yards. He built a new engine for his car.
Ooh.
And documented the process, and he's he became an engineer, and he's smarter than me. Hi, Nick. Yeah, but I always thought that was very cool. And he also he kept his he had a Chevy Cutlass Supreme that was, I think, the first Cutlass Supreme ever made. It was like 5,000 years old, and he kept that thing running throughout the entirety of the college career. It was this car was a relic, and he kept it in running condition based on what he learned in that class.
Yeah, and that'd be fantastic. Like, if they had that in school, like, while I was going, like, I would definitely probably took, auto shop or welding or some kind of trade instead of, when they were pushing the narrative, like, you got to go to college, you got to get a degree, you got to do this, instead of pushing trades, because, like, trades were, like, a no-no.
Yeah, trades were what, the poors did.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're a welder? Oh.
Yeah, you ever tried to hire a welder now? They ain't the poors.
No.
You get a good welder, they earn, there's a reason why you pay them that much money.
Yeah. And, another, like, a narrative one, like, was, they would make, they would, like, have the joke be like, oh, you end up working at, like, McDonald's or something like that. It'd be like, oh, a general manager of a McDonald's probably makes, anywhere from, like, 75 to 100K.
Is that true?
Yeah. They can make a good living. Like, if they stay there long enough, like, work through the ranks, and they started at like regular.
But they got to be like 20 years in for that.
No, not really.
Wow.
Like, you just have to.
That is better than I thought for something like a major fast food company.
No, you just have to be around, like, because you think about it, like, because did you work any like fast food?
I worked for a pizza place. I was a delivery driver for Domino's for a while, but I never worked fast food.
Okay, well that's still food service.
Yeah.
Or like, say, food service retail, things like that.
Oh,
but,
definitely done retail.
Yeah. But if you stick around enough, like, even in the time you were working there, like at Domino's, you've seen, maybe a dozen people come and go in that time period because like no one wants to stick around for.
I was one of the people that didn't stick around at that particular Domino's. This was in Raleigh, and without saying anything potentially libelous or slanderous, because this is video, the management or the ownership was not conducive to succeeding there. I will say.
Yeah.
I suspect some shady stuff was going on, but I have no proof, so I will not say so. But yeah, it was not cool.
Yeah, but like say in that time period of like you said you were there like a year.
No, I was only at that job for like 4 or 5 months.
Okay, well 4 or 5 months or like any place you worked retail that was, longer than a year, you saw like a dozen people come and go. So, but like if you stick around, you're like, oh, let me stick around, move their ranks, and they see that you're actually still wanting to be there. They're like, oh, you went from regular crew to like a shift manager to assistant manager to a manager. You can do all that within like maybe a 4 or 5 year window. There are people that just like gone straight to like management and like start from there. So they're like, oh, I started in management. They started off at like 50K, but with increases in bonuses in different locations, they're like, oh yeah, I make like 100K a year. So you can do it. But like also like another position that I was going to talk about is trash man or waste management as they want to call it. In school they were like, oh, you're gonna like flunk out. You're gonna be a garbage man, and that was essentially an insult. But then you find out like, oh, this is back in the early 2000s, folks. They would start off at like $25 an hour.
Well, you're coming from California, where I imagine they had garbage man or sanitation worker unions. Here in North Carolina, we're a right to work state, so unions are no go. So basically, any job here that you might think of as an insulting job is an insulting job here.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. Like we need to unionize a lot of stuff, but that causes like we have to like rise up, unionize. Come
Agrarian
together.
revolt, pitchforks, spades, torches.
Yes. But, since people have differences and people can't get on the same level, we can't do that.
When I am king, there will be changes.
Yeah, because people are still on board of like, oh, this benefits a group that I don't like, don't do it. You're like, well, it will help everyone. Is it going to help them? Yes. Then no. You're like, you dumb ass person. Okay, you keep existing over there and just paying all the money that, you can and getting mad because you have to pay extra where, we can, all come together and, take down big corporations.
Of all the things that human beings evolved to be, or to excel at, I mean, we've got civilization, we've got empathy and cooperation. We also have spite. Why did we have to keep spite?
Out of spite of others.
Imagine what we could have if we had just dispensed with that altogether. We could have some other, emotion that is genuinely awesome that we could all be really good at. But no.
No, spite and hatred kind of, go hand in hand. So as long as hatred exists, spite will still exist too, sadly. So we can't control that. We can't control other people's emotions. You can try to sway it, but after that is, no go. Only if we had mind manipulation powers.
Oh, yeah, because we can totally be trusted with that shit.
Oh, no, I'm going to be not totally trustworthy. I'm going to be the most awful person. Like, I won't be evil. I guess I would be that gray area in between evil.
But you would have to be very discreet and keep it a secret if you had mind manipulation, because like the moment it becomes public knowledge that somebody has the capability to alter someone's mind, you think we have problems distinguishing reality from fiction now with AI and deepfakes and social media and fake news and lying people. I mean, once people decide that, oh, you can't trust someone's mind, you can't trust your own mind, reality is done for.
Yeah. So I have to do it like very carefully and just do it to like certain people at certain times. Kind of like what was that, Umbrella Academy? Like they didn't have, they didn't have mind manipulation, but number five.
Rumor. Rumor.
Well, no, I'm talking about like, well, Rumor had the ability to sway people to do whatever she wanted to. I'm talking about number five, wherein
Was he the time traveling one?
yes,
Okay.
so he would go, in between time, and the service that he worked for, like in case they needed to.
But by the way, this is a wildly imaginative story, folks.
Yes.
The comic books are even divergent from the TV series. The TV series is great.
Yes. But he worked for whatever service, and so what he would do is like, oh, let me make this person sick, so this person will work, who will make this person sick to do this to like hit this.
The domino effect.
Yeah. So he would do like, he would change something very small to like essentially have the domino effect to like assassinate JFK, which was kind of wild. I'm not sure if that was that was more like one of the storylines.
Yeah, there was some show, maybe, I can't remember if it was a movie or if it was like an episode of The Outer Limits or something, where there was a guy who was sent back in time, from the far future, and his job was to put a coin in a parking meter.
Okay.
Because if he didn't put the coin in the parking meter, the person parked there would have gotten a ticket, and they would have had to go to court to deal with the ticket, and they would have been in the wrong place at the time. Somebody would have been assassinated, and eventually it would have led to World War something or other, and the entire world civilization would collapse.
Wow.
But he put a coin in a parking meter, and that fixed it.
Yeah. It's amazing how just like small things like that have such big effects. Like another one I can think about, and this is not a TV show, this is just real life.
That time you manipulated time? Time Lord.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I don't know why I was thinking about like Weeping Angels, like the first episode that they did with the Weeping Angels.
We're on Doctor Who now, folks.
Yeah, we're on Doctor Who, obviously. No, that's amazing. But
the first episode was excellent with the Weeping Angels.
yeah, because I think it was the 10th Doctor, and like it was like they have to watch videos. They like go back in time to like.
Yeah, it was masterful editing, is what that was.
Yes, it was. I loved it. All right, getting back to actual real life. When someone actually compliments you or says something like nice about you, it changes your entire mood for that day.
Yeah, your disposition is improved.
Yeah. Because like if like you're
I like your hat.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Someone like gives you a compliment on like a shirt or your pants or like how you got a haircut, you're like, that's nice. Like it didn't take them like that much effort to tell you, but it changes your entire mood that day. Or it could be the opposite, where someone's like, "Oh, you got a shitty attitude," and then like, now I got a shitty attitude all day because you told me that I have a shitty attitude.
People don't realize that everybody has superpowers.
Yeah.
You can go around and like the amount of effort it takes to be a dick to somebody is negligible. And the amount of effort it takes to be nice to somebody is negligible. You just acknowledge somebody, that could be the difference between, like utter depression and, maybe things ain't so bad.
Yeah.
You can, insult somebody or just, be inconsiderate to them, and that can be something that pushes somebody over the edge.
Yeah. And I will tell you folks, Daniel does this wonderful thing where he will ask anyone doing like service work or like any like server, hostess, whatever. He will ask how they're doing, how's their day going.
Yeah, that's not the wonderful thing. The wonderful thing is actually, giving a crap what they say.
Yeah. Because some people ask, they're like, oh, how's it going? We all have the natural response of like, oh, fine, how are you? Even though like you may have like the shittiest day going on, but you don't want to bother other people, so you're like, oh, fine, it's good.
When I was working retail at the grocery store, it took me 2 days to get sick of the how you doing? Oh, fine. You, I was seriously. It was like less than a week, and I was just I will say anything other than the expected just fine, and I'll move on being your robot, scanning person. So I would say, oh, I'm marvelous. How are you? Or I'm not unwell. Or I would just make up like random weird stuff to say. And every time you could see the gears just like skipping and people say, and then it got to the point where I had my regular customers and we actually had conversations on the
Yeah.
regular. And it was nice. I liked that job.
Yeah, and like because like what's going on in their head is they're just used to their regular robotic response. They're like, "Hey, how's it going? Fine. How are you?" If they hear anything other than that, if they're paying attention, they're like, "Wait, you said something different. What? What? Why? Why'd you say that?" Now my day is different.
Like, now I have to think.
Now I have to think and now I have to think while I'm buying these 13 cucumbers. Well,
It's for a salad, folks.
yeah, the very
Very cucumbery salad.
that very cucumber salad. That's exactly what it's called.
There was this dish. It was like cucumber and yogurt or something like that. It was like a side dish that came with almost every meal at this Middle Eastern place.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it was really good. It was just basically like cucumbers and maybe some like thin Greek yogurt or something. Maybe it was thinned out by the cucumber. I don't know. If anyone knows what that's called, let me know.
In the comments, or just comments, or put it in Skyline. I don't know. Just tell him what it is.
Get it tattooed on your forehead and then go viral.
Yeah, get it tattooed on your forehead. Take a picture. Put it on. Tag us on Instagram or TikTok or Instagram, TikTok. What else we got? Facebook. We got Threads.
Yeah, like I should say officially don't do this. Just in case there's someone out there that's impressionable.
Do it. We're talking to you, Vinny.
No, Vinny, don't do it. Don't do it, Vinny.
Don't do it, Vinny. His dad,
Okay, I think on the topic of potentially having,
a child tattooing.
yeah, let's wrap it up there.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Why you not stop?
They're like, oh, you got your okay, that's cute.
That's really usually. Let me know when it launches. I'll like and subscribe. By the way, like and subscribe, folks.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to say that.
Yeah, like,
Feels
subscribe.
dirty.
Like, subscribe, hit buttons, hit bells, do dinglings and things
Remember us.
like that. Remember me.